I feel like a part of me is so much more connected to the little girl inside of me. But then there's a part of me that feels like a grandmother. Like I feel like I can just really tap into that deep ancestral wisdom. Hello, my loves. It has been a minute since I've actually made one of the longer videos. So I'm sorry to be MIA. Your girl is back. I have been like figuring out life and figuring out who I am. I am almost 40 years old. I will be 40 in less than 2 weeks. Also, I just went thrifting, and so I want to show you guys what I got. Also, just talk about what it feels like to be turning 40 very soon. This video is for anybody who's also turning 40 and who just like wants to share wisdom and be like, yes, girl, I am right there with you. Also, I feel like if you're younger and you're like in your 20s and you just wanna hear somebody's story of like what it's like to be turning 40, especially for women, it's like our stories get cut off at 35. And there aren't a lot of realistic storytelling of what it means to be turning 40. Okay, so the first thing that I got is this super cute cropped sweater. It's like kind of pinkish, and it's actually from H&M, which I was really surprised because, I mean, I guess I really don't go into H&M that much, so I don't really know what they have, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is super cute. So I'm gonna try it on and tell you all about how I have been taking things way too seriously lately, and I think that has a lot to do with me turning 40 very soon. So cute. Okay, so lately I have been, and when I say lately, I mean in the last year, I have been feeling like, oh my goodness, I need to get my shit together. I have a vision for myself and I need to get there as soon as possible. And I didn't think it was because I was turning 40, because I am someone who has always looked forward to turning 40. It just always seemed like a really beautiful age where you really know who you are and you just care less. And especially as a woman, I feel like there's something about turning 40 where you step into this like deep, beautiful wisdom. And a lot of that has been very true for me. And also, I think in the back of my mind, subconsciously, I was like, oh my gosh, you still don't have a career that looks like your expectations from when you were in your early 20s. Or I want to be making a certain amount of money and your bank account doesn't look like that. And so I think as the closer I got to approaching 40, I started to scramble, and everything I was doing, I was putting so much pressure on. I have my weekly soul reflections and affirmations that I send out to my community, and I was just drilling down really hard on it. Like, okay, it has to look this specific way and you have to do it every week. And in the beginning it was fun, but then I started to feel like, wow, I'm really overwhelmed by this. And anytime I was making new art, I'm an artist. Instead of coming from a place of this is what I intuitively want to express, I had some business expectation about what was going to happen with that art. And that's never good for art. I've been married for 11 years. I love my husband. He is my best friend. But when I was young, like a young girl, I was not someone who was like, oh, I'm dreaming of my wedding and I have it planned out. I was someone who was like, this is what my life is going to look like. This is what my career is going to look like. And getting married and having children was kind of like, oh, I'll figure that out when I get there. So it makes sense that, you know, I have this wonderful relationship, but I've still put so much pressure on my ideas around career. Okay, let me show you the next thing. I will tell you about how I was letting my career define my worthiness. Look at this adorable skirt. I still have this sweater on because at some point I'm definitely gonna wear these two together. It's giving me very modern Clueless vibes. Also got this super cute circle bag, and the strap is perfect. Okay, so let's rewind a little bit for those of you that do not know me and that are new here. I am an artist. My background is in fashion and I studied photography. For the first few years of my career as a professional artist, I would create mixed media works for editorials and companies to kind of like highlight their stories. And it was the first time in my life where I really found success with something and I was really good at it. And it was really exhilarating because, you know, I did my master's at School of Visual Arts in New York. And when I graduated, I was really lucky because I started to get work offers right away. And they were so in line with all of the things that I believed in. A lot of it was surrounding women empowerment and stories that uplifted communities and individuals. And I just love the work that I did. But what happened is, you know, years passed by and I was really starting to feel like, wow, I really feel like I need to evolve, not only as an artist, but as a person. And I started to realize it is so hard for me to move on because I am identifying this success that I was having with my career as me being worthy as a person. And I felt like if I move on and start a new chapter, then I am not going to be worthy because I'm not going to have this like shiny carrot or this like shield, this which was my career at the time. I'm not going to have this thing that I can say, hey, look, I'm worthy because I'm getting work, I'm getting jobs, people like what I do. In the last year, I've really felt like, wow, you know, I think I've moved on. I think I'm like ready for a new chapter. And I just had the realization, like, I am still holding on. I'm not saying that I'm going to throw my art identity away because I'm always going to be an artist. It just moves through me. That's who I am. But I do not want my success as an artist to define me. I want to feel worthy in any space that I show up just because of who I am. Okay, so next I'm just gonna talk about how it feels to be a 39-year-old, almost 40-year-old. I'm loving this dress from Zara. It obviously needs to be steamed, but it is so cute. I love a slip dress. Guys, I feel the same and different. I feel like a part of me is so much more connected to the little girl inside of me. So like the 3-year-old, 4-year-old, like I love to be outside playing barefoot. Like I was just climbing trees this summer. And so a part of me feels like so youthful and immature, but then there's a part of me that feels like a grandmother. Like I feel like I can just really tap into that deep ancestral wisdom, and I can feel and hear the elder version of myself guiding me. And that is new. Actually, both of those things are new because I think in the past, it definitely didn't exist in my 20s. In my 20s, I was just really figuring out who I was and wasn't really thinking about inner versions of myself too much. And then when I got into my 30s, that's when I started seeing a therapist and started doing like really deep healing. And so I think I became more tapped in, but it's just in this past year, really, these two versions of myself are so distinct and they're so close. And so it's really interesting how that is, how in some ways I feel really young and like, just like, I don't know what life is. I'm still figuring it out and that's okay. And then there's another version of me that's like, just like so solid and stable. And it's just like, I am not separate from anything. And as long as I know that, that is what matters, and I am protected and I am guided. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about being married and almost turning 40. This skirt from Aerie is so soft and so comfortable. I am so excited about this skirt. All right, so being married and 39, almost 40 in less than 2 weeks. Okay, so I've been married for 11 years. Me and my husband have been together for 15 years. Yeah, we've been together 15 years, married 11. And Oh my goodness. You know, I feel like we're in a really solid phase of our marriage. Also, really playful. I feel like year 9 was like the first really difficult year for us. And that was really because, we got together when we were in our early 20s. And so you have to rediscover each other. And sometimes that can be really, really difficult. Because someone that you've known for so long, you just have these ideas of who they are. And when they start to grow and expand, you get scared and you feel like, who is this person? Like, why are you doing this? And a part of you wants to like control them and be like, no, be the previous version of yourself. We really worked so hard in year 9. And I feel like then in our 10th year, I felt like, oh, we are solid. Like we are so solid. And I've always felt like with my husband, I've always felt like this is my person. And it's always been like, it feels effortless for us to be together. But especially after doing that year of really hard work as adults, year 10 felt like implementing all that we learned about each other during that difficult year. And so it feels like in this year of 11, it feels like, wow, we get to be like more playful. All in all, I feel like it feels really good. Let's talk about friendships next. Okay, so I have this really cute top from Aloe. It fits really good. I'll probably wear it to yoga. And it's also like a shirt I can just wear, around because it's really cute. And I'll just show you the last 2 things that I got because I'm gonna wrap this video up pretty soon. I am a really good thrifter. 90% of the things that I bring home fit perfect. And I know exactly like, yes, these are things that I like and I wear them all the time. But once in a while I get something that I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna wear this, and then I don't. I don't know if this top is gonna be one of those things, so hopefully not. And this bag that still has the tags on it from Uniqlo. It's so cute. It's like this net material, and it's just like a super cute crossbody bag. Okay, friendships as an almost 40-year-old are the shit. Because people that I'm still friends with from my younger years, if we've made it this far, then we are solid. Because over the years, I have just done so much self-development. And so anybody in my life who no longer aligned, we are no longer in relationship. And I think that's normal. That's just how it is, People change and they grow. And so the friends that are still in my life, it's just so solid, and there's no pretending. There's no, we can, if I'm upset, we can tell each other. And I really think that comes with growth though. Like if you are approaching your 40th year and you really haven't done that work within yourself, then you might still have people around you where you feel like you can't show up as your full self. And that's okay, because if you are aware of that, then that is an opportunity to change and grow. And the other thing is, I have met a lot of really close friends in the last 5 or 6 years. And that's also really beautiful, because meeting people at an older age, because you know yourself better, it's the same thing where you meet people who you feel on the same page with. It doesn't mean we are the same. We have different interests and taste, and we bring different things to the table, but we are on the same page as far as what it means to be in relationship. I think the older you get, the more that you can communicate what your needs are and your preferences. And even if you're not saying it out loud to other people, you know that for yourself. And so if you find yourself in relationship with somebody, or you've met somebody, and this is like friendships or romantic relationships, if you meet that person and you're kind of like, this isn't working, you're not afraid to move on. Oh my God, it's been so fun sitting here chatting with you guys. It feels really good to express what it is that I'm going through in the moment, because it's an offering of clarity for myself, and hopefully I've also offered you something. And that's it. I hope I see you next time. Have a blessed day. Bless, bless, bless.